A shift is happening. The world is now more multifaceted and unpredictable than it has ever been. Leaders face a choice as to how to respond. What happens next matters. It matters for yourself, colleagues, your parents, your children, your future grandchildren, and for your living grandparents. What is the next act for your leadership?
Leadership is changing. At Shift Unlimited, our purpose is to work with senior leaders as you shift the way you connect with yourselves, others, and the wider world, undertaking a transformation of the self through reflection, inquiry, disruption, and experimentation. This podcast channel is focused on this as we believe your shift is unlimited. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of our Shift Unlimited podcast. And this one's on forgiveness today. Forgiveness is a big topic, and it's really challenging to do forgiveness in practice. Forgiveness in itself is a pattern interrupt for resentment, and often we find resentment easier to perpetuate than forgiveness, which is why we can stay stuck in a cycle of resentment. Resentment arises as a result of a feeling of injustice, feeling hurt by another's behavior or actions. We lose the moment to actively express our emotion, and instead of speaking up, we hold it internally and we rehash it again and again, making our own stories very elaborate. Even though the event itself passes, we rehearse and ruminate and go over and over the same experience. Forgiveness and ideas of compassion and letting go are here to help us move on from events that can keep us in the past and in a negative frame of mind. It's extremely normal for us to have these upsetting experiences in life, and often we don't speak up so that we can maintain harmony. For example, in a work context, we are asked to do something and we say yes, even though we don't have the time or the capacity to do this. And then we hold that discomfort and resentment inside. Old feelings can also be conjured up right now. We have a super powerful mind, and our stress response is still significant after the event has passed. You can feel the emotions in your body, your stomach, your chest, your breathing, your forehead, and your head.
In Buddhism, resentment is like holding a red-hot coal to strike your enemy. But because it's in your hand, it's you that gets burned. You experience the pain, not the other person. Another way to think about this is that holding on to resentment or anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer from that poison. At the end of the day, resentment hurts us. The cost of this can be in our inability to be present with what is, to have peace, to have meaningful, honest, and true relationships. We see it often with leaders who bury themselves in their work to avoid dealing with the things that are hurting them or have hurt them and caused them pain. And holding on to resentment hurts us like holding the hot coal. And there are costs to us being in this stress response. Chronic activation of stress response leads us to have a vulnerable immune system. The body is in fight or flight and producing adrenaline and cortisol, and it puts us in that sympathetic and nervous response. Another cost, we are wired for threat and start to perceive threats where there aren't any. For example, we receive an email and it triggers us. We become unable to stop the cascade effect of the stress response. Forgiveness and compassion, therefore, become absolutely critical for our health and well-being. So often we resist moving into forgiveness because we're not ready to let go of feeling wronged. It's really challenging work, sometimes, to forgive. We end up stuck in the old experience and it deprives us of life and being really present and enjoying the present.
Dr. Fred Luskin is a researcher on forgiveness from the Stanford Forgiveness Project. He says that it is normal to experience the hurt from being wronged, but also that it's normal to let go. Letting go is forgiveness. It gives you back your life. It takes the burning coal out of your hands. Dr. Luskin says that forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past. We let go of having wanted something different in our past. In First Nations, there are some very beautiful ancient practices for forgiveness. And a few years ago, Mel and I had an opportunity to go to Hawaii to learn more about how the ancient Hawaiians understood higher consciousness and energy. The ancient Hawaiians are one of the indigenous groups across the world who practice deep connections to the wider world and whose teachings are still taught today. Ho'oponopono is the Hawaiian tradition of radical forgiveness. It's rooted in reconciliation and restoration of harmony. It's about taking responsibility for what we experience and offering forgiveness, not just to others, but to ourselves and even to parts of our psyche that we've rejected. Our shift to forgive process that we're going to share with you today leans on the ancient Hawaiian practice, and it also brings in mindfulness-based approaches as well. Today's episode is one for you to experience. You'll want to be in a place where you can close your eyes and sit comfortably and be guided by us.
A couple of things to explain before we begin. In Shift Unlimited, we have a belief, like the indigenous tribes across the world, that we are all connected. The Emerald Tablet says, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. Energy ties are the sometimes thick and sometimes thin connections that we have to other people. Anytime you come into contact with another, you create an energetic connection and an energy tie. So we are in a web of energetic connections, creating energy ties all day long with everything around us. Pets, people, belongings. You know that feeling when you just click with someone, and also the feeling when you don't? Both of those are energetic connections. In this forgiveness process, you choose to cut the energy tie that no longer serves you. This doesn't mean you cut the person out of your life. It is simply that you get rid of this particular interaction or the story that has created the energetic tie between you and that other person. The energetic tie is no longer serving you now, and you want to break free from the perception of it holding you back. So cutting the energetic ties means it changes how we perceive the other person. We either don't react so emotively to them, or we don't see it anymore. It then creates space for us to create a new, more empowering connection to that person.
In this practice, you will both seek and give forgiveness. And you may be here because you're curious about how to forgive the other person. And you're now thinking, well, why should I ask for forgiveness? You've held on to this negative energetic tie for all of this time. And if we are all connected, then that energy will have impacted on how you interact with this person. You can seek forgiveness for holding on to this story for this time, or certainly for another personal reason that might come to mind. This is all guided by us, and all you need is to be open to giving it a go and experiencing it fully so it works for you. Before we get started, grab a pen and paper, and maybe you even want to press pause just to give yourself time to do this. Make a note of the people from your past that you perhaps hold energetic ties that you no longer want to hold. Include people from your childhood story as well, maybe parents, carers, teachers, siblings, strangers. Who are they? Anyone that you've got an energetic tie with that you don't want that tie with anymore. Jot them down onto a piece of paper.
Okay, let's begin by closing your eyes now, sitting comfortably in your seat. And we'll begin with some nice deep breathing. So take 4 deep, slow breaths. So inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. And as you take the next deep breath, know that you can relax twice as deeply. The relaxation is flowing from the top of your head through your body to your toes. Feel your heart softening and staying open. As you take your next breath, imagine the feeling of relaxation 10 times deeper in your bones, muscles, organs, cells, totally relaxed.
Imagine above you, right above the top of your head, is an infinite source of love and healing. That infinite source of love and healing flows in from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. Every cell, every nerve in your body is filled with this infinite source of love and healing. Your heart, the center of all energy in your body, it opens, perhaps like a flower or a wheel or a spinning vortex of energy. It opens. See and feel this happening now. And imagine in front of you and below you is a stage. So you're looking down on the stage in front of you, almost like you're in the theater, up in the high seats, the grand circle, looking down on the stage. Go ahead and invite every one of the people you wrote down earlier out onto the stage. See, hear, and feel them walk out onto the stage one at a time. As they come out, thank them for being here. And use the faculty of your imagination to flow the infinite source of love and healing from you to them on the stage so that they too feel and receive the healing and love. And this may happen instantaneously or even sooner than that. And as you continue to flow the infinite source of love and healing to the people on the stage, forgive them. Perhaps one at a time or all together, forgive them for whatever it is. Forgive them and say it to them. I forgive you. And once you have said, I forgive you, ask each of them to forgive you too by saying, please forgive me.
Go ahead and say whatever you need to say to them to get completion. If there are things they need to say to you too, then let them. Go ahead and take this time to get the completion and mutual forgiveness. Any lack of completion would be due to the healing not yet being full and complete. So if you get the sense that you cannot complete, go back to sending infinite love and healing to them. Let your heart soften and stay open. Remember, as above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. We're all connected energetically. So bring to mind how you are energetically connected to the people on the stage, the energetic ties, and then go ahead and dissolve those connections now. You can make new connections just by thinking about those people in a more positive and empowering way for yourself. So allow the old unhelpful connections to dissolve now, and then allow these people on the stage to float off the stage and return to the light and the source, so that the stage is now empty. Let's complete this forgiveness practice with 2 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Staying relaxed, heart soft and open. Open your eyes and come back to now.
And that is the forgiveness practice. You can do it anytime that you hold resentment or pain or the hot coal in the palm of your hand, and with anyone that you feel you are not right with. And you can do it any amount of times. It can even be included as a daily practice, one of your rituals and habits to stay healthy and sane. As we finish this episode today, perhaps you'd like to take your journal and jot down any feelings, thoughts, insight, gratitude, and appreciation that you would like to acknowledge. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you valued the experience and that you can save this episode and come back to it whenever you need it. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Click to subscribe, and you can also follow us on Instagram at shift_unlimited for more content like this. See you soon.